Hiya kittens, welcome back to Soul Alone. We will leave him be, and he has said all there is to say. Retreating to the bowels of the dark, you feel it cover you, submerge you in a black smudge. At this moment, you truly feel unconnected to everything except the black. A severed roamer, a vagabond, a drifter, an explorer, a floating and displaced self of what I am somewhere else. Wandering the darkness seems to go on for a while. The black canvas begins to play tricks on your perception and even lacerate through thoughts at almost randomized moments. Sounds buzz by, but yet don't actually seem to be there. There seems to be something comforting in the negative space, though, something deeply safe, like a child hiding under a blanket from a monster. You notice you are just walking now, and any caution of walking into something has vanished along with the fear of what else could be out there, in the dark, in a wait. One foot in front of the other, stepping forward, onwards in what seems a straight line. You've even stopped scanning your surroundings at this point, as any glimmer of light would stand out like the sun after an eclipse. Photophobia, a symptom of abnormal tolerance to visual perception of light. Oh, hello, sir! I doff my cap to you, kind sir. Your eyes suddenly burst into pain. Like looking into the sun, they begin to force themselves closed. The sound of buzzing of artificial lights turning on all at the exact moment echoes through you. I was alone, is all you can think of as your eyes begin to cease burning and start to adjust, opening themselves. Adjusting quicker than you expected, everything in front of you is illuminated. A man's voice, the man sitting in front of you, Lumina Barrow. A mouth left open, gaping, looks just like a trash can. Suddenly, it is dark again. Oh. In the pitch black, you can see the negative silhouette of the room and the strange man sitting in the middle of the room. The brightest lit parts left as green, orange to white imprints of what was there. All precaution and alertness have spiked through your being. You move forward with your arms waving, eyes wide open, surveying for any glimpse or flicker of light. Breath held, ears pricked to any sound, heart pounding and racing, legs feeling shaky but agile. You move on, but in an entirely different fashion this time, ready for what may come. Damn it. Damn this place and its non-rational shit. You think as you move forward like an exposed lamb who's wandered too far from the flock. Ye, and surrounded by wolves, in the fucking dead of night, everything and everyone here are so unknown, so obscure, it's a constant threat. Everything is a threat in here, everything. You feel your chest tighten along with your fists, your jaw clenches, and the panic is quickly turned to anger and frustration, then determination. Your stride forward becomes more controlled, pushing out all the fear as it becomes replaced with resolve. This fuel won't last forever, but it feels good for a while as you move on. Oh, we're at like a little circusy tent thing. Cool. The feel long gone and completely diffused as a... Blah. The fuel long gone and completely diffused just as desperation was beginning to invade. A light shines in the distance. Once again you feel like a moth to a flame and your body takes you towards it. You stop just before a group of interconnected tents. As you take a step closer you look down and the light spreads over and through the tips of the dark green glass. It is so dense that the light seems only to blanket its surface, like light trying to penetrate itself into the depths of a green lagoon. You squat down and run your hand over it, warm. Its touch is soft and damp, Part of you just wants to lay down on it and rest. Squatting feels good too. Bending the knees and hips make you realize how long you've been walking for. You look back up at the tents and read the sign overhanging the entrance. Electricity of the farm. Lumina Barrow. Electricity, surely it's connected. Fuck. You ponder as you take a deep breath and begin to stand. Your knees crack and feel rusty as you return yourself to the upright position you've spent so much time in. We can either move towards the entrance, avoid the place, and move on to the depths of the darkness. Just give up and lie on the grass. I kind of just want to give up and lie on the grass. Zombikittie here. Love laying in the grass, especially when it's warm from the sun. It's so much fun. Should we move towards the entrance or avoid this place and move on into the darkness? Like for move towards the entrance. You move cautiously across the silent, spongy grass. Your stomach begins to knot, and a tumor affair bulges its way up your throat like a cancer that will begin to spread if you don't swallow it back down. You swallow as you guardedly grab onto the tent's entrance tarp. Also, the developer told me I chose the longest path, so I don't know how long this is going. I'm going to try to finish up in this episode. We'll watch till the end to see whether or not we finish. That's cute. I love this. I love these old-timey photos. Oh my god. And they're supposedly got another trick up their sleeve in the future, which I can't wait for. So excited! An empty ticket booth sits across from you. The light is on, but there is definitely nobody in there. Well, at least I don't have to pay for this shit. To your left, a display room lights up and startles you at first. A speaker blares out a recorded voice of a honeyed young woman. Ooh, there's our shop window. Welcome to the electricity of the farm, brought to you by Lumina Barrow, eliminating the apoptic. The background sound? Oh my god. Suddenly, another booth lights up to the night. An upbeat melody plays from the piano, but there is no movement. The girl seems like very realistic wax sculptures. Both boops, boop, 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 boop. What is my volume on? Okay. Both booths are encased in a glass wall, so there is no chance to get close enough to study them. We're gonna survey the surrounding room. The tent is circular and it feels oddly solid considering its fabric. It may just be because there is no wind moving it. It feels damp and sad for some reason, thick where it absorbs the artificial light vividly glowing from the booths, pushing itself against the tarp, then dissipating to black at its peak points above you. What is this, a magic box? A magic box? A box of magic? A booth filled with lights and mirrors stands a few feet away from you across the tent. Just a few feet more to the back right, a small hallway with a light and a door. So this is the magic box that is filled with lights and mirrors. And now we're gonna go through the hallway. Nothing else. Where is the dog? Nothing else. This sunless world, you mutter under your breath as you inspect both options. No, we're going to the magic box. You stepped... There we go. You stepped into the booth and the door closes behind you automatically. You turn and push against it. Trapped! Fuck, you think, and then suddenly the lights turn off. Standing in the darkness, the booth seems to be mechanical as it begins to hum. The lights around the base, no more than 2 rows high, just below your knees, become dimly lit. You can see your reflection, a ghostly reflection that doesn't feel like you or at the very least a copy of you, then that's interesting because if you've never done the low light look in the mirror thing, it distorts your image because your mind is trying to compensate for the low light and it knows it's supposed to be you in the mirror, but it looks all creepy and decrepit. It's super fun. I highly suggest to check it out. It's kind of like why people were always like, oh my god, I saw Bloody Mary in the mirror. Oh! 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 This reminds me of the game I physically just got done playing. Okay. Photos, photos of past and near present beg and ache to be looked at. A male voice orates through the speakers, but it is so clear that it feels within you, almost as though it has breached and penetrated your inner monologue, taken up resident beside your own conscience. The voice is modulated but pleasantly calm, well spaced and paced out perfectly. Its respectability grabs your undivided attention. Only the blind may stare directly in the sun. Technically, the truth. Who are you? What is the all of who you are? Who are we? Where's the truth? Delusion and confusion are so seductive in their nature. The booth hums quietly and you hear a slight sigh and click as a new image transitions into view. Reality, truth. What's this? Kind of looks like a face. To dwell within a universe. Darwinian thought would place you as merely a creature, a product of outcome of millions of years of evolution, a byproduct of happenings, nothing more than circumstance and coincidence, a coincidence that obeys no laws, well, no laws that we are aware of for the least. Huh, interesting. Or is there more to it? Is there a preordained cosmic meaning to it all? A godly baker's hand that placed you in the darkness to begin with, that gave you the push and tumbled you in here, intentionally and with some purpose and function to play out a part in the great scheme of things within here. You feel a slight mood of discomfort slowly drift over you. This fucking baker, you think to yourself, or is it all just a simulation? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I kind of like it. I really love these old photos. I don't know where they found them. I know these are all technically like public domain stock footage, but whoever did this, I need to follow you. A game to be played, a choose your own adventure. Does anything around you even exist? Yes, you can see it. You may touch it and hold it and pick it up even. But how do you know you're not just sitting behind a screen somewhere playing a game? As if there is a reality somewhere else outside of here, and perhaps there is another screen behind that one also, and so on. So it's kind of, well, I mean, they're talking like this is fourth wall breaky break, and they're talking about us, or me rather, playing this game. But it's also like in The Sims, when you play Sims Forever on your computer. In The Sims, there's always been, with computers, there's always been a Sims game your Sim can play. So you're playing The Sim, The Sims is playing The Sims. And who knows, it could go on forever and ever and ever. Forever being deceived. But enough with abstractions. Let's move on, shall we? What is actually here versus a narrative of the mind? I mean, you know you think, therefore you must exist. Sorry to diverge off track, but let's make sure the reader is still with us after all. Reader, press the button or leave now. We wouldn't want you being somewhere you wish not to be. Reader, what the fuck is this shit? You think as you attempt to turn around and look at the rear of you, but there seems not to be enough room to turn completely. The light in the booth from the screen and the small bulbs seem to not allow you to see much else. However, from what you can see, there seems to be no buttons anywhere, and even feeling around produces no such button. Great, I'm stuck. What button? The button says that this wasn't here. Please press the button to continue with the presentation. This allows you to leave the booth. Boop, 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 boop. Doctor Who! In Doctor Who, you always press the button. You always press the button. Ah, wonderful. Let's move on, shall we? Oh well, it's still working. You think, puzzled as the voice goes on. But what is it that you actually think you have that makes you what you are? Are you a person, or is this merely an idea? We really only ever have our perceptions of what we are experiencing. So you are just perceiving the experience of being a person. There are 5 senses if one is lucky enough to have all 5. Taste, touch, smell, hearing. Oof, ooh, no, no, no. Sight. Let's move away from that photo. Okay. These are confirmed mechanics that contextualize experience. It should be noted that becoming impaired in one or more of these senses does not hinder one to still be able to form a working frame of reference in order to perceive an experience. Just one of these senses will become the dominant one as the situation requires. Again, I digress. Let's move on, shall we? Sure, why not? Ah, still with us. Terrific. Okay. Fuck my shit up. Still with us. Terrific. A sense is not just an end result. In fact, it is a field of information that is then translated into a sense via a sense organ. So taste, touch, smell, sound, and sight do not exist merely on their own. Without the sense organ, they are just vibrations of energy. Sense, data, ooh, spooky, spooky clowns. So move backwards in the progress, and the sense data is just different densities of energetic information. I don't know where all these pictures are coming from, but I want them all. So where are you currently, which is behind your screen? The dormant sense at play is the sight. The approximate field of view for average human eye measured from the fixed point of where you are focusing at this very moment is typically 30 degrees superior up, limited by the brow, 45 degrees nasal, limited by the nose, 70 degrees inferior down, 100 degrees temporal towards the temples, but I deviate. Let's move on, shall we? So look at your screen, not what is in, but on your screen as an object. Notice how it has borders. It is not all-encompassing. This is just like your vision. Now, for all intents and purposes, essentially, this is all you have. Let us use the box as a metaphor of the extent of the mechanics of your perception of experience and existence. Anything else you will Anything else you have concluded in the past, outside, and beyond your current focus, perception's border, i.e., this screen, is an abstraction. Ooh, wibbly wobbly. Are you a human being? Have you ever really had an outside reference point of a disembodiment to confirm you are? And even so, wasn't the outside model just another image on a screen depicting a persona you have identified as your own self? Wait, what of our bodies then? Look at your hand. Go on. I could leave booth or keep going. We're gonna keep going. Oof. Oh, there's the dog again. Well, there you are, a strong indication of what ourselves confirmation you are indeed a human. You can see your hand, therefore you are a human being looking upon your hand. Simple, right? Only that isn't the truth of what being indicated here. The identity of a human being is assumed. The identity of a human being is assumed. It is an abstraction yet again, a story that is told within the mind that is transfixed with the confines of the screen. It seems to me you may have forgotten the borders, and that which falls outside these boundaries, it's fine. Don't let it bother you so much as it's very common to get yourself all caught up in these appearances that appear on the screen and you find your true self lost in them. It's a bit like this darkness, really. Come to think of it, but alas, this is why we have found ourselves here. Now take a closer look at the hand on the screen. That hand. Alright. The truth is exactly what it appears to be, the visualization of a hand on the screen. Since when did this become an assumption that you are human? Imagine for a moment that you are playing a choose your own adventure game and within the booth is a digital character. Even though you have been choosing and controlling pathways of the character, did you I don't know if you can hear that, but there's now singing. Did you ever actually believe you were that character? What in the hell? What is this guy talking about? Me? A digitized character? A figment of imagination? A wooden boy? Nothing more than fiction? Where? It is very difficult to determine the outside of the box looks like when you live inside it. When you watch a film, are you the main character? You may imagine that you are or establish some kind of relatable identification with these make-believe characters, but the truth is these characters and the worlds they inhabit are attributed or inferred to be something they are not. Dismantled and boiled down, they are nothing more than patterns on a screen. Well, how about a mirror then? We look into a mirror and see ourselves, don't we? Allow us to look at an example of this. Is this similar to what you're referring to? Actually, all you see is the character on the screen looking at the reflection in the mirror. Even when you peer into the mirror, it's still just a reflection of a character in a mirror on the screen of visualization. Do you see where we are going with this? I suppose so. I hope that's the right one. All that you have is portrayed experience of existence that can be witnessed to imply something about the nature of what is witnessing. This experience, which is you, but referencing the content of the experience, is really addressing the wrong area of concern. This is similar to saying that you can understand film projection by following the plot of a movie. This is the wrong area of concern because when one looks deeper into the details of illusion, what one finds necessarily draws the attention further away from the origin. This is how a delusion works, and you can only look so far into the illusion before it will become necessary to rely on a prosthetic technology. Looking into the micro Looking into the microcosm or the macrocosm, you will quickly become in need of a microscope or a telescope. The thing is, neither one is a peek into the truth. At best, all you have is a model of abstraction based on perception. The details of illusion only ever reinforce the idea that there are deeper levels beyond our capacity to explore. Layers of appearance that go on forever. All there really are layers of appearances that go on forever. When I use the word appearances, I mean that illusions only give off the impression of deeper significance. But all in all, it is only an appearance on the screen. If you take notice of the face value of the illusion within a quick glance, you'll soon be able to identify the facade of the appearances it produces. You manage to become aware in recognizing it. Take this for example. It's a bunch of girls in white dresses. Our angels are sweet little angels from a time long lost. They never truly knew where they were going, for the sun was always behind them. But that is another time and another story, and the sun is no bother to us anymore. Mm, So our girls stand within a field, a place, but it isn't a place, nor is it even a contrived portrayal of a place. To you, it is nothing more than a mere experimental visualization in a framework, and even the framework doesn't depict this and even this framework doesn't depict the setting it appears to show. As there are no wings, no girls, there is no grass, no field that they stand in. There isn't any height, width, depth, or distance. What you have here is arrangement of pixels. Yes, at times I do feel though as the illusion of hope. The dream within my loneliness twists and flattens like I am a being searching for a soul, but I am a soul searching for a being. Goodbyes without fingerprints. I really am losing my mind in here. Oddly, it somehow feels like home. It's a really nice picture. I want to know where all of these came from. Because I've gone to like antique shops and bought random photos. Understanding this can be known that the world is actually flat. Not because the world is indeed flat, not because the earth globe is flat. No, the earth globe is round. Oh, I think it's supposed to be like a quotation mark, but it kind of disappeared. The earth globe is flat because the earth is an item on the visualization screen. Hmm. And everything on the visualization screen is flat. Things on the screen only appear to be of three dimensions due to the eye because of the pixel configuration. It is no different to watching a 3D film. It seems to be 3D dimensional. It seems to be three-dimensional, but is it three-dimensional? So comprehending these holographic illusions in reality can now be better understood, as their seemingly three-dimensional embodiments are not that different to the mechanics of a 3D movie. It's a fair point you think as you listen on. So I do hope this clears up some of the confusion. Try to keep this in mind when dealing with anything in perception. You have loved ones. No, you don't have loved ones. You have a perception of existence. No, you don't have loved ones. You have a perception of an experience of loved ones. It's a nice little photo. You have a dwelling, a home to rest your head. No, you don't have a home to rest your head. You have a perception of an experience of a home to rest your head. Is my player confused now? I'm not that confused. A self. You don't even have a self. You have a perception of an experience of a self, and the same goes for anything in or out of this world. There is no world. There is only a perception of an experience of a world. And now we come to the end of the presentation. A footnote you still seek? Just wait then, or leave. But this is the second to last option. A footnote, wait and see. The machine hums slow and the lights slowly dim out, leaving you standing in pitch black. For a few moments, which seem to drag out, there is nothing. The viewing screen where the slides were presented lights up and you realize it is a room within there on the other side, slightly bigger than your booth. The figure taps on the glass at you. Fear rushes and floods through you. You lean back against the exit panel, but it does not but it does not budge. The figure relaxes and sits just looking at you. It breathes slowly and deeply. It is hard to look at, and it seems so sad, rife with agony. Your bewilderment keeps you frozen. What of memories then? The voice is back, and at first flinches you, but you are still ossified, unable to take your eyes off the thing on the other side. Blink and breathe, swallow some of the terror. Long grass like a forest, stepping on ants, clouds passing by, producing all sorts of imaginings. A cold drink, freshly laid beds, cold and clean, with the smells of cold and clean, with the smells of detergents, the scent of rain, frosty mornings as dew slowly transforms to droplets seeping into the cold earth, steamed exhales with a numb nose, the leftover quietness from the night being broken and forgotten by an early bird song kissing the new day. Yes, a kiss, a hug, your first day, streetlights, the crunch of gravel underfoot, the song you know all the words to, and the reason behind the song. The first time you were touched romantically, erotically, heartbreak, your favorite meal. The time a book changed your life. The time another changed your entire life. The time you felt utterly alone, like in here, utterly alone. I am not so sure that it is. I that feels alone or that can feel the loneliness of this whole place. Shit. He stands and moves with such speed towards the far wall of his room. It is not as it is not a big room at all, but the move startled you. You now realize that the thing maneuvers inhumanely quick. You feel a shiver course through you as you think of the possibility of having to face the thing with no divider. If that gets loose, I'm fucked. Memories of what? Memories, what of them then? Photos, photo albums, pictures of the past, archived memories, captured moments. Then there are the relatives, lives we never knew but tell part of our synapse. Stories drifted down to us on the moth-chewed wash-out cloth. Spoken words of skeletons and broken locked closets, hinges pulled off or left ajar, where murky smudged truths have only now been hung out to dry. Where time has played the movement of the wind, their corpses their corpse dragged out, propped up on display to be studied, observed, and judged weightlessly, but never truly understood. Why keep the weight, the burden, preserving, measuring, labeling, and shelving, then unpacking, sharing, and passing on? Why? Because we are condemned to forgetting? Without proper storage and foundations, the sands and the elements of time cover over and devour. Yeah, well, everything is forgotten eventually, even the great things, but it isn't that what is wonderful about life? It allows you to have vindication over the obscure despairs we all suffer from. Your thought brings a slight bit of solace to you, but there is still dejection watching that thing through the screen, standing, breathing, existing in such a surreal state, like a semi-existence. It should be put out of its fucking misery. You think as you fill with fury. These fucks speak of things that matter yet inhumanely keep this tortured thing in here. What a fucking lie. These fucking pieces of shit, sickness, begin to creep into your gut. Hey you yell. It does not turn and the voice continues uninterrupted. The Lumina Barrow is the grip knotted to the anchor. Anthologists of all written through the black, we keep the accounts, catalog the narratives of the ornamented, captured the scenes with pickled and brine, and the simple jester flattering the poor and misplaced. In the end, we are only communities that have to coexist. We may not know each other very well, but this is the start. The start. We note down the beauty of it all. No! No, you fucks are... Whoa. No, you fucks are a museum and a zoo, nothing more. You are collectors and hoarders with no sympathy. You are heartless. You have no open hands. You have open cages disguised as charity. I'm yelling at a fucking recording in a booth with some monster of what might have been someone just like me. At some point in time on the opposite side, I can't deal with this shit. You think to yourself as you begin to laugh like a madman, I'm losing it, but does it even matter? Is there any way out of here? Any victory for me to accomplish? Any meaning? Gain is loss and loss is gain, so what's the fucking point? Survival. Heh, yeah, why have bright ideas, searching for purpose in words, definitive sides to take a stance on. Hopefully, if I am turning mad, I wish to be a happy madman, continually swishing around in the shallow pools of good moods, laughing for no apparent reason from dusk till dawn. Well, from dusk till dusk, ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! What nocturnal creature have I become in here? Has the balance of what I was to what I am shifted? Rub your face. The voice continues as you attempt to regain some composure. In this place of somewhere, each and every one of us is forced to walk alone, searching for an unknown elsewhere. But why search at all? We are the resistance to this somewhere, a station of belonging to something, offering sustenance through a walk of solitude in the dark. We bring the light. Call it what you want. You fucks, I see the nature of you. You think as the booth lights up completely and the things room disappears from the screen before you as if the lights in there switched off. You hear the door unlatch behind you. You open the door and the fresh air hits you. Quickly, you survey the room and check behind the booth. Nothing. The room was never there. Is it still the same within the tent? You walk down the hallway. Nothing is out of place. A photo sits in a basic frame on the wall opposite to the door. You study it for some time. Then you grip the door handle and you stare back at the image again and study it one more time. A deep breath fills your lungs. It feels good. You turn and face the door once more, leaving the picture behind. Here we fucking go again. The darkness invades again, ever present, but in the not too a far distance you see the light. Another path. You decide to head for it. The walk is quick, but somehow you feel within yourself that you have traveled a considerable distance from where you once were. As you approach, you hear sobbing, moving closer. I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. You hear a female voice weakly say through the bouts of sobbing. You have walked to a solid wall. To your right is where the light and sobbing is originating from. Exactly everywhere everywhere else is the darkness, so there is only one way to go. You turn a corner, and there sits a lady of middle age, very still, and she seems to be looking at something across the room. Hidden in the dark just to your left, you look over. There seems to be nothing there. Your focus switches back to the lady who may just be in some sort of trance. Suddenly, you hear the sobbing coming from just behind her. A door. The sobbing is coming from just behind her. You step forward now, exposing your presence from the dark. Hello? You present yourself as to not shock her. She offers no response at all. You take another step looking at her. She still does not even flinch. You look at the door. The sobbing continues. Hello? Hey, lady? Excuse me. What is going on in here? This time you were sure to speak louder. Still nothing. You shouldn't go in there. She is broken. You're too late, you know. A girl's voice pronounces from the dark to the left of you. We spin to our left. Oh, whoa, hey, hi. Hi. What the fuck is the first thought? Purple shades over purple shades over pink shades over yellow over green over black. Peggy is bruised beyond repair. The deformed girl speaks and then has nothing more to say. She turns away from you slowly within a ghostly plane of existence and reality. You look over to the lady sitting in the chair. Grief seems to have molested her face. She still offers no sign that you are there. Okay, let's go in. You move towards the door, walking past the sitting lady. As you brush past her, she whispers, "Forgive us for what we have done." You pause just past her. It isn't grief, it is regret that has taken her and contorted her. You think as a sense of urgency and worry embodies you. You open the door. Suddenly you feel out of place in time and space. A girl stands there with her back to you inside a black room, sobbing. Her disfigurement jolts you out of comprehension for a brief moment. Mercy burns up in your heart. What have they done to you? You mutter as your eyes fill with tears, inspecting her wounds. It's a sickening mix of open wounds, some surgical, some not, and what seems to be skin grafts and treatments only to be opened up again almost over and over. You try to turn her to face you, but you cannot. It puzzles you as you then attempt to walk around her to see her face. No matter what you try, you are always left facing only the back of her head. You try all possible ways to get around her, every attempt in vain. I feel like a ghost. I want to get out of here. Please, someone, anyone help me. There is no happy ending. Most of who I was has died, but I am still here. Hello, I can help you. Are you okay? You realize how stupid the last part of that question was. However, she does not stir, still oblivious to you or intentionally ignoring you. I am sorry, I am not what you wanted. Some of us are just born with tragedy in our blood. Again with the dumb questions, but this time you make sure to have raised your voice. Still nothing. Am I just a mistake? This whole place is a fucking mistake, but you aren't. Nobody is a mistake. It's not the darkness that grabs me, it's the silence in here that grabs me around my throat. I cannot hide from my screaming thoughts. My head is so messed up, I feel it's messing up. It's like trying to bite my own teeth. You turn to look behind you and around the room, nothing but mist of darkness. Always at your shoulders, flutters of concern make their way through your stomach. The black seems darker than before. Okay. She continues, deaf to your plea. I used to think that death was like being blind and dumb, but still conscious. I realize that not I realize that now that the idea was silly and naive. No, this is something entirely different, something far worse. Being dead would be a relief compared to this. It is so strange, so odd, torturous it is all. Unable to turn, unable to face anything, but I have inside myself, I swear it. Her voice, heightened by her statement through the hurt and tears, returned back down to the somber despair. Always changing. I'm not even the same me I was 5 minutes ago. How is it possible to change so much but not be able to change anything at all? But I stay trapped, trapped in the same damn position, the same situation, left contemplating and feel these fucking feelings. Her voice quivers to a breaking point. I just want to get out of here. I still find myself guarding my defenses. I can't help but keep building walls around nothing. Suddenly you become truly aware of the absurdity of it all, though through it, you still just want to help her, to not let her go through all of this. Something inside you wants to support her more than anything else. Something inside you wants to support her more than helping yourself. An absurd fucking hero. A labyrinth protecting myself so well that I can no longer find myself at the center of it. I've grown a forest that is ever expanding and constantly thickening, pushing all inner light that I have left outwards. It's darker where myself sits than this whole place. I didn't even leave any crumbs to find my way back. The original pathway in and out has been obliterated with so many turns, so many backtracks, so many circles, shortcuts, scenic routes, overs, unders, insides, and inside outs. All I want to do is get out of here. So do I, but I need you to listen to me. I ran out on my own cause, and this is the aftermath. Pushed out by not being wanted even by myself. Well, at least I thought that, but I realize now that this isn't the case. I want me back, but it's all so overbearing. I can't get out. I'm too weak to find me and take myself by the hand. How long do I have to be tortured for my wrongs? I've weaved a tangled web as a spider, but now I am the fly, stuck, trapped, encased, slowly consuming my own life force. Not destroying myself is a lot of work. Apathy envelopes me with a warmed blanket of nothingness. Termites have massacred my core. The pain is so severe that even throughout the prison of rational thought, the agony vanquishes all else. It is time for calm, because I am empty, not just around the edges, but even within. I am now weep, soul, alone. She produces a razor blade. The metal glistens with no shine you have ever seen before. Her eyes bulge out from your eyes bulge out from your skull. You can feel them. I'm out here by myself all alone. I wish they could see this world through my eyes. It all hurts so bad inside. I can't get out of here. I just want to live again. My life is nowhere, and I'm sick of hoping. I'm in here, by myself, all alone. I cannot take any more care. I wish they could all see the world through my eyes. I just want to live again. I just want to live again. I just want to live again. No, don't do this. We could finally see her face. Finally, she turns almost as though she heard something, or she was merely searching for something or someone to eventually come. But you can't move, and you realize you have no influence over the next few moments as they unravel right before your eyes. Exhausted, the only thing you can do is stay, in some way knowing that she was witness to and not truly so alone. Bring some ideas of something, if anything. So you sit beside her now. You notice calmness slowly pull over the floor as the creature empties her veins, opened by a razor. It goes on for some time, and she continues to cry as her life force spills forth, and her self-affliction dulls to stillness. How can emptiness be so fucking heavy? She had no face left, and I had no voice left to protest. Will anyone besides me remember her? Her shell and forgotten memories she erased herself. Will she just fade away? Once I meet my own demise with no one to memorialize all this fucking darkness with cryptic pathways, could I have gotten here quicker? Was there a different path? Choices, always choices, and now I cannot live down the deceit. Hark, fuck! Why? You scream and cry, but no one is there. No one hears your call. It just echoes back at you. Nameless emotions fill you from the bottom of your soul to the top of your lungs as you continue to cry and scream. The noises which were escaping you cease after a while. You sit beside her for an incomprehensible amount of time, silent. The dark red blood begins to dry on its edges as thick congealed crust form over it. Sometimes you don't say goodbye only once, you say goodbye over and over and over and over and over, forevermore. If only someone, if only, if only, if only, if only, if only, if only, if only I wasn't so alone. If only we weren't all left alone. If only, if now, not only anymore, not if anymore, but now. I gotta get a fucking grip of some sort. Composure. Think. Think, Jesus, fucking think. How did I even get here? Where was I before here? What was I doing? Maybe if I could just remember, I can figure out what here is. Where here is. Damn it, where was I? Home! I was home, and the dog was barking outside. The television was on, and one of those infomercials were playing. It was a mop. Yes, a steam mop. Woof, 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 woof. The hell is he barking at? The lamp beside the couch flickered with subtly, but I subconsciously noticed it, because I remember that detail now as I rose off the couch, headed through the kitchen, straight towards the back of the door. The door was open, and the screen door was unlocked. The light in the kitchen had this bright artificial sting to it as I walked through. Must have still been adjusting from sleep, but damn, it stung. Woof, woof, woof. I opened the back screen door. I tried turning the light on by the switch. Nothing. It was dead. Fucking shit. I could see the dog in the middle of the yard, moonlight blanketing everything to a low bluish gray. Nothing out of place except the dog. It was facing towards me, towards the house, towards the back door, avoiding the house. He sat silently, just staring at me. It's strange to me. The fuck is wrong? With a quickness shock entangled its way through me, fear shot downwards from the tip of my brain to the ends of my fingers. In the kitchen, my peripheral vision saw something through the sting of the artificial glare. It was something dark, standing in the corner near the sink. I felt it behind me. I wasn't alone. The darkness and the voice. It's about to begin again. Shh, I know. Well, how far do you think? Not very. Now keep quiet, would you? We're about to begin. Oh, now I remember what it was. Enlightened, you realized your tears could turn this whole place into a swamp, but the realization of what you know now and what is left to figure out, you have a fire that will burn this entire shithole to ash. You stand You stand. Life intensifies and rises within. The darkness welcomes you once more. As you take a new step, so alone. I am alive here. I am open wide in here. It is still all incomplete. I'm the absurd hero in here. I'll take my time and bring the whole fucking place down to the ground. I'm Sisyphus in here. I know, I'll never let it chain me, hold me, devour me. I welcome the darkness, not it, me, and I will avenge Peggy. Who's Peggy? Did I miss something? Whoa. Okay. We reach the final fold of the Antra of Seul alone. The Antra, written by depicted prophet Nick Stravro and produced by Paranormal Games. This is a temporary ending. Thank you for partaking in this journey into the darkness. A special thank you to my wife and soulmate for her help, support, patience, and love, we as one. My two beautiful children who drive me crazier in all the aspects of my day, and this is the best type of crazy. Also, David O'Donoghue, the oracle who helps us find the answers we seek. My brother and the other half of Paranormal Games, nothing is ever impossible without you. Within the menu is an area titled From Us to You. If you have not already looked into that, please do. There is more information regarding our hopes and plans for Soul Alone and its ever-expanding world. You can also check the store for the prequel to this, which is free. Look for Soul Alone the Day Before. If you have enjoyed the journey, please share and support us. I have a lot more to unfold for you within Soul, the mains, plus another connected title IDLM. Take care, my friends. Be a good person, but never bother proving it. The end. I realized when we were starting to do like the thank yous that it was the end. This was really good, and I probably took one of the longer routes, which I like, because I don't know if I would have really truly appreciated the whole story of this being in the darkness, what the darkness is. As always, I will always link this down below. I highly suggest to go check it out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification for more spooky videos. I am Zombikittie. Thank you and have a good night.